Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to all our learners, our teachers, of course, and our dear parents who are with us today. It's Tuesday once more. And so we're back with English 7 for Itulay online tutorial. So let me share my screen first. Okay, so there you have it. So, by the way, I would like to greet first our early birds for this afternoon. So, we have our three earliest birds for today. First one is Carlette Dejan Olangahin from grade 7 Einstein, and she's actually from San Mariano National High School. That's all the way from Maine, SDO Isabela. And then we also have Micah Angela Data from 10 Aphrodite, that's from Mangahan High School. And another one from Mangahan High School, we have Lorraine Hibe from 10 Iolo. So again, I would like to greet everybody. Good afternoon. So I am Tutor Drace from SDO Pasig, and I'm sorry if Tutor Arnel cannot be with us. He is attending to some very important matters, but of course, he helped me with our lesson for this afternoon. So again, we are here, always here, every Tuesday from 1:40 to 2:20 p.m. So now you can actually follow DepEd Itulay Facebook page, and you can also watch us in DepEd Itulay YouTube channel. You have it there on our screen, of course. And just to have a recap of all the important dates for the fourth quarter, we are now on April 25 to 29. So that's week 2. And reminder for everyone, from May 2 to 13, we will not be having sessions, tutorial sessions, because that will be focused on election related activities. So we will be back on May 16 to 20 for our week 3. Next, so, our topic for this afternoon is none other than strategies for effective interpersonal communication. We are now on quarter 4, week 2. And of course, our module reference is from the Department of Education, Surgeon Region. Thank you very much for allowing us to use and share your module contents for this tutorial session. And our objectives will be the following. First is to distinguish different types of communication. Second, we have develop one's confidence through employing strategies when communicating. And the third one is to apply communication strategies to create an effective conversation or dialogue. So we will try to see if we will be able to meet all these objectives at the end of our lesson. So for today, we also have exemplary tuties who excelled last quarter 4 week 1 session. That's last Tuesday. So who are they? First, we have Samantha D. Blasi from grade 7 Liano High School, SDO Caloocan. Next, we have Janel Von Morales from grade 10 Aeolus, Mangahan High School, SDO Pasig. And of course, we also have our Suki, Mark D. Platon, a student alumnus of Sagad High School, SDO Pasig. Congratulations to our exemplary tuties for quarter 4, week 1 session. And again, our dearest congratulations to everyone, and encouraging everybody to please be very active so you can be part of our exemplary tuties next week. I mean, that's May 17, right? So, for our first activity, this is what we're going to do. You're going to read each statement carefully, and then you're going to type true if the statement is correct and false if it is not. So, this is a very easy activity, true or false. All you need to do is just type in your answer. Don't forget to write the number before your answer, and you're going to type that, of course, in our comment section, which I will, of course, be reading as you state your answer. So let us now have our first item. Number 1, logical organization, precise word choice, formal tone, and evidence-based arguments are important characteristics of academic writing. Is this true or false? All you need to do, like what I have said earlier, is to just write the number of the item you're answering. So for this case, we have number 1, and then write true or false. So we now have an answer here from Sudairi. It's true. From Jeric, also true. Shamari, true. So is that correct? Let us check. Very good. The correct answer for number one is true. Let us see how well you know the topic. Let's have number two. In academic writing, it is necessary to use cliches and slangs. Is this true or false? Are we allowed to use cliches and slangs in academic writing? Let us see if you still remember our topic last meeting. We now have Fiona with a false. And then we also have Kisha with a false and Desiree with a false. What is the correct answer for number two? Let us check. It's a false. Very good. So, number two, you are not allowed to use cliches and slangs. Number three, academic writing requires precise language that clearly conveys the author's key ideas and concepts. Is this a true or a false statement? Again, are we requiring precise language in academic writing? Althea says it's a true. Jeric also said it's true. And then we have Aaron with true. Is that correct? The correct answer for number three is true. Very good. Let's now proceed with number four. Number four, academic writing is typically written in first person point of view. Is this true or false? Are we allowed to use first person point of view in academic writing? Okay. Number four, according to Jeric, is false. Okay, let us check. And then we now have, okay, we're still waiting for number four. John Vic Avalorio with false. Carlette with also false. Let us see. Your answer is false. That is correct. Now, question is, if we are not allowed to use first person point of view, what will we use in academic writing? Before we proceed to number five, what are we, or I mean, what will we use in academic writing if we are not allowed to use first person point of view? Okay, let me see if you really know the answer for that number. I'm waiting for the answers. If we are not allowed to use first person, we are, according to Lorraine, it should be third person point of view. Very good, Lorraine. That's very much the correct answer. So, third person only. Next, let's have number five. Proper citation of the sources and inclusion of the bibliography are required in academic writing. Is this a true or a false? What is your answer for number five? Proper citation of the sources and inclusion of the bibliography are required in academic writing. What is number five? So Diary says it's true. And Francis also with a true, and Ezel with a true. So let us check if that is a correct answer. Number five is true. Very good. Now let us see how well you did on our first activity, activating prior knowledge. This will check whether you really understood our previous lesson. If you got five correct answers, please give me five hearts. Again, it's going to be five hearts if you got five correct answers. Okay, let me just greet my fellow tutor from English. We have Ma'am Jovet Templado Tampil. Hi, Ma'am Jovet. And so we now have hearts here from we have hearts from Jeric, from John Argo, from Paula, from Hannah, from Sudari Lorraine, Janiel, Krisha, Sheila, Rhea, Argel, Ashley, and a lot more. Thank you very much for all those hearts and congratulations. You still remember our past lesson. So that only means that you are now ready for the next lesson this quarter for week 2. So what will be our lesson? So I would like you to observe the pictures on the next slide. Let us see. What are these pictures? We actually have three pictures, and I would like you to check which of these pictures define communication. Is it letter A, B, or C? Let us check. This one is letter A, this is letter B, and this is letter C. Which of these pictures really show the definition for communication? Okay. A, B, or C. Let us check. What is your answer? So there are now answers here. John Argo, B, Mikey with a B, Micah with a B, Janiel with a B, Carlette B also. So let us check. Is your answer correct? Communication is the art of exchanging and understanding messages between two or more people. And it is shown in letter B. Very good. So, as you can see on the picture, it is very obvious that the people are exchanging and understanding messages given by the woman that is seated in front, right? So, this is communication. Now, when we speak of communication, we will also be discussing, of course, interpersonal communication, which is a type of communication wherein people exchange information that is through verbal and non-verbal messages. Now, teacher, there's another term, verbal and non-verbal. What is it about? So let me define. When you say verbal, it means that it includes a spoken language. Okay, when you are speaking, and the tone, volume, and pace also is being used when speaking your message. Okay, that is verbal. Again, it includes a spoken language. Okay, next, what about nonverbal? Nonverbal, like you see on the pictures, you see their signs and symbols and gestures. So this includes facial expressions, touch, body movement, eye contact, and gesture, hand language. So when you say no, when you say stop, when you say okay, okay, when you say quiet, those are examples of nonverbal communication. So if you would like to greet somebody a hi, you don't really have to say hi. You just have to wave your hand and they will understand that you are saying hi, right? So that is an example of a non-verbal communication. So let us check what are the skills or abilities that are included in interpersonal skills. First, of course, you have to listen and understand. Next, number two, you have to solve problems. So we will discuss this one by one. Don't worry. Next, you will be able to also make decisions, and you will be managing personal stress when you have good interpersonal skills. When you talk to other people, of course that releases the stress, right? You were able to share your problems also. Now, if you have problems, of course, what you have to do is talk with other people also, ask for advice or ask for clarifications, and that is when you listen, of course, and you understand what these people are saying, and of course that will lead for you to make decisions or evaluate judgments. So these are the skills that would, I mean, the abilities that are included in interpersonal skills. And another thing, you should also take note of the strategies that you need for effective conversation or dialogue. First one, you have to repair breakdowns. What do we mean by this? You may be asking, or you can ask the person you're speaking to, could you repeat the question, please? Because you cannot understand it. So it's not really a problem to ask or to repeat the question, right? Because you would like to clarify and you would like to understand it better. Okay? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. So it's another way of repairing breakdowns. And could you repeat? I'm a bit nervous. So that is, and those are words or sentences that would repair breakdowns. Okay, so don't forget that. And also, you may also include this one, pardon, come again. So you are always asking for clarifications or a repetition of the message to clarify everything, clarify the confusion, and for you to understand the message well. Next, what about number two? Number two is to repeat the question. So instead of saying, Can you please repeat the question? Or instead of saying repeating the question, you can say this. What is my favorite food? That is to check whether you have heard the question well. Okay? So for example, somebody asks you what's your name, and you got a little confused. You can ask them, "Are you asking what's my name?" Okay, so that will do. Another, "Well, where do I stay this vacation?" Okay, so that is to check whether you have heard the correct question. Okay, so just to avoid confusion. Next, number three is to express lack of a clear opinion. So you may say this: "I'm afraid I don't know much about it." So it's okay if you would be saying that you don't really know anything about it, instead of pretending that you know something about it and end up being a loser because you don't really know the topic, right? Next, "I think I will research more about it to give you a better answer." Okay. So it's the same thing as saying, "No, I don't know the answer, but I will try my best to research about it. I will try my best to know about it so I'll be able to answer your question next time." Okay. It's about honesty. Okay. It's about being truthful. And that's a very, very good skill in communication. Next, number four, acknowledge others' ideas and opinions. So, I see your point, and well, that's a good idea to consider. So, please don't forget that there are a lot of people also stating their opinions, and it's not a mortal sin to acknowledge if they have good ideas. Okay, remember that it's not you only who can give good ideas. So you have to give others a chance. And by doing that, you must also acknowledge if they have good points or if they have good ideas. Mm. Next, clarifying. That's number five. When you clarify, you may say, "Do you mean?" Okay, and then you follow it up with your clarification. Or, "Oh, you mean to say that?" Okay. But if, for example, it's not that one or that message that is being said by the speaker, then of course they'll make clarifications. Okay. Next, number six is active listening or summarizing. So you will say, "Okay, so Maria think that, and Jose, you said that." Okay, so that's active listening. It only means that you are focused on the message and you can summarize what the speaker has mentioned or has told you. Okay, and you can also say this, something shorter: "Someone mentioned that." Okay, and you may proceed with doing the summarizing. So this is number six. That's active listening. It's proving that you really listened to the text or to the message given by the speaker. Okay. So another thing, number seven, that's back channeling. So it is a way of showing a speaker that you are following what he or she is saying. Often you'd use interjections in doing this. Like, for example, you say, "I see," or "Yes," or "Okay." Okay, so that's back channeling. It's a type of giving a feedback that you can follow whatever he is discussing. Next, okay. So with that, these are all the strategies that you have to remember in improving your interpersonal skills. Now, if you are ready for the next activity, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, we will now be checking whether you learned the lesson. So if you are ready for the activity, please give a thumbs up. While we are waiting for the thumbs up of our viewers, let me just greet the following. Josa Espiritu from Josa Espiritu Baraga, I'm sorry, from LFG Diamantina National High School. That's grade 7 Hope. We also have Angel Joy Matias from Banquero Integrated School, Reina Mercedes District, Isabela. And we also have Brittany Joy Pascual from grade 7 Einstein, watching from SMNHS Maine. And we also have Raven John Lago from Banquero Integrated School, Reina Mercedes District. Nadine Loris Balao Edilior from Alibadabad National High School, SDO Isabela, Ulysses Bartolome from Diamantina National High School, and we are now receiving a lot of thumbs up for from our viewers. So that only means it's a signal that they are now ready for the second activity. That's a check, or let us now see whether you really understood the lesson that I have just discussed. Let us start with the directions. Read each statement carefully. Type true if the statement is correct and false if it is not. So again, that would only be a true or a false. So two options. Please write your answers in the comment section. Don't forget to write the number of the item that you are answering. Let us start with number one. Spoken language, tone, pacing, pausing, and volume are examples of non-verbal communication. Okay, that's supposed to be volume. I'm sorry about that. Is that true or false? Again, spoken language, tone, pacing, pausing, and volume are examples of non-verbal communication. Is that true or false? Let us check. We still have Josh Vincent Manarang from Banquero Integrated School. And also from Mangahan High School, we have 10 Aeolos, 10 Aphrodite, 10 Apollo, 10 Kratos, and 10 Adonis. And now we have an answer. Number one, according to Antoinette, is false. Ed says it's a false also. And we have Julia with the false. Okay, is that correct? Let us check. The correct answer is false. Very good. Because spoken language is verbal communication. Next, number two. Communication is the art of exchanging and understanding messages between two or more people. Again, communication is the art of exchanging and understanding messages between two or more people. Is it true or false? Ian says it's true. Carlet true. So diary true. John Michael true. Is that correct? Number two, the correct answer is true. Very good. Next, let's have number three. Honestly, but politely expressing your lack of knowledge about a topic is a strategy to achieve effective communication. Okay. Should we say that we don't know anything about a topic? Is that true or false? What is the correct answer for number three? Honestly, but politely expressing your lack of knowledge about the topic is a strategy to achieve effective communication. We now have an answer from Jasmine, true. John Argo, true. And we also have Aaron James and Nadine and Miggy and Mark and Trisha, and they all answered true. So the correct answer for number three is true. Very good. So it's not a sin to say that I don't really know anything about the topic, but you have to be very polite in expressing that. And number four, saying I see, yes, or okay is a way of showing a speaker that you are following what he or she is saying. Is this true or false? Okay. Are we allowed to say I see, yes, or okay if a speaker is talking? Okay. We have Jasmine with true, Daniela with true, Carlette withdrew, Micah withdrew, Trisha withdrew, Angela withdrew. Let us check. I mean, number four is true. Very good. Now let's proceed with the last item. Number five, facial expression, touch, body movement, eye contact, and gesture are examples of verbal communication. Is this true or false? Facial expression, touch, body movement, eye contact, and gesture are examples of verbal communication. What is your answer for number five? True or false? Aaron, false. Eunice, false. Okay. Carlette, true. Okay. Shemari, true. Stephanie, false. Okay. Nadine, false. Rhea, false. Let us check what is the answer for number five. Number five is false because facial expression, touch, body movement, eye contact, and gesture are examples of non-verbal communication. So don't forget that. So now let us check how many is or how many items did you answer correctly. Please give me happy faces for every correct answer. So if you got a five, you give me five happy faces. Let us check what are the correct or what are your scores for testing one's knowledge. So while we are waiting for that, let me just greet Hannah, Chelsea Valencia from Bekuran High School. And now we have a lot of happy faces. We have Janet, Shadiri, Rhea, John, Kevin, Mark, Samantha, Avi, Hannah, Jasmine, Lorraine, um, Krisha, Mikey, Julia, Althea, all with five happy faces. So that only means one thing: you understood our lesson for this afternoon. And I am very thankful. That only means that you listened very well. And that is part of effective interpersonal communication. So you have applied what you have learned today. So let us have one more activity for this afternoon. Now, this time, you're going to identify the correct answer in each item. And just type the letter of the correct answer in the comment section. So we only have two options for this one. So let us now have the first item. Number one, which of the expressions show one's attempt to repair breakdowns in communication? Okay, now this is for repairing breakdowns under strategies. Okay, now what is the answer? Is it A? Oh, I see. I get your point. Or letter B? Pardon me. What are you saying a few moments ago? Okay, so two choices only. Is it A or B? Okay, so let us check whether you got the correct answer for number one. Let me just greet Janet Flood Patayon, our exemplary parent. She was awarded last week as exemplary parent for English 7. She's from Massachusetts. Okay, thank you very much for joining us today, ma'am. And so we now have answers, and they're all answering. It's a letter B. Is that correct? Number one, correct answer is letter B. So that is, pardon me, what were you saying a few moments ago? Next, number two. Which of these expressions show one's attempt to clarify something? Now, this is for clarifying. So, are you trying to say that I need to go there today? Or letter B, I'm afraid I need some time to process that. Can you please repeat what you have just said? Again, that's letter A or letter B. Please type in the number of the item you're answering before doing or before typing letter A or B. We now have an answer here from Rhea with an A. Next, we have Jasmine with a B, Clara with an A, John Michael with an A also. Let us check. Is that an A or a B for number two? The correct answer is letter B. Okay, so now let us proceed with number three. Melissa nodded when asked by George if she has eaten lunch already. Nodding, like this, is an example of blank. A, verbal communication, or B, nonverbal communication. Again, nodding or doing this is an example of A, verbal communication, or B, nonverbal communication. Okay, what is your answer? Number three, Khalif, B. Eunice, B. John Argo, B. So everybody is saying it's a letter B, non-verbal communication. So the correct answer for number three is letter B. Very good. So when you nod, it means that you are saying yes. Next, number four. Which of the following scenarios shows verbal communication? A. The president answering the reporter's questions during a press conference. Or letter B. Putting one's index finger over his or her mouth to warn the noisy children in the corridor. Which do you think shows verbal communication? A or B? We have an answer here from Diary, letter A, Mark with an A, Samantha with an A. So the correct answer for number 4 is letter A. So when the president is answering, he is using spoken language. So that is verbal communication. Next, number 5. Which of the following scenarios shows nonverbal communication? Letter A. Eliza frowned when she found out that there are dried fish inside an ice cream container. Or letter B. Mario explaining himself to Eliza why he put dried fish in an ice cream container. Is it A or B? Usually we have that in our freezers, right? So you're very excited to open the freezer, looking at or seeing an ice cream container, thinking that it has ice cream, but when you open your mouth, you have their dried fish. Okay? Or sometimes you have their salted galunggong inside the freezer. And of course, that would be a very big disappointment for you. So we now have answers here from Janiel as an A, Lizelle Ann is an A, Nadine also with an A. So the correct answer for number 5 is number five's answer is letter A. Very good. So you got that correctly. So let's see how many got everything correctly for our last activity. If you got 5 correct answers, please give me 5 thumbs up. Okay, so please do that. 1 thumbs up for every correct answer. So while we're waiting for the thumbs up, we have the following people to greet. You have Aaron and Andrea and Antoinette and Almira and John Joseph Mark, John Ronald. They have 5 thumbs up here. Ella, Samantha, Kisha, Micah, Mark, Julia, Argel. So thank you very much for all these thumbs up, and congratulations for getting a perfect score for our last activity. So it's really good, right? When you see a lot of people do having the perfect score, it only means one thing: you focused, you listened very well, and that's a very good thing to do for interpersonal communication. Very good. So, to summarize everything, please don't forget communication is the art of exchanging and understanding messages between two or more people. So, that is interpersonal communication using verbal or non-verbal messages. Verbal is using words. Non-verbal is using facial expression, touch, body movement, eye contact, and gesture. And of course, interpersonal skills include the ability to listen and understand, solve problems, make decisions, and manage personal stress. And for the strategies that you need for effective conversation and dialogue, these are the following: repair breakdowns, repeat the question, express lack of a clear opinion, acknowledge others' ideas or opinions, clarifying, active listening and summarizing, and of course, back channeling. Don't forget all these strategies, and if you were able to do everything, then you will be a very, very effective communicator. Okay. And of course, if we do all this, miscommunication will be prevented from happening. Don't forget that. And so let us check whether we have achieved all our objectives for this week. So, distinguish different types of communication. We did that. That's verbal and nonverbal. Next, we have develop one's confidence in communication through the strategies. We also did that. And we apply the strategies to create an effective conversation or dialogue. That's the reason why you got good scores this afternoon, because you were able to apply everything. So for your assignment, you're going to make a comic strip which shows strategies for effective conversation and dialogue. Now, I would like you to think of a catchy title and an interesting plot for your comic strip. So have the screen I have a screenshot of this, so you'll be ready with your assignment next meeting, and be an exemplary tuty next time. That will be on May 17. So you have a lot of time to do your comic strip. And with that, for the submission of assignment, you can do that in my Facebook page or in Tutor Ernell's Facebook account. And of course, for the exit assessment, please scan the QR code or copy the link below. That's there. And please answer the Google form for the exit assessment.